Picture this. It's 7 a.m. on a cold winter morning. Your great-great-grandfather, grandmother wakes up and goes outside in the freezing cold to chop wood, haul water, tend to the land. And they do this every single day. Now picture your morning. You wake up in a warm house because you have electric heating. You're immediately stimulated from your phone. You press a button and yummy coffee starts brewing. You take a hot shower with water that just magically appears. Life has never been easier. So why do so many of us feel like absolute Welcome back, y'all. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I strongly believe in, and that is we have eliminated almost all friction from our daily existence, and it is absolutely destroying us mentally. Let me ask you something. When was the last time that you did something genuinely difficult? And I don't mean going to the gym for 45 minutes. I mean something that you didn't think you'd be able to do. Something that pushed your body and your mind to its limits. For most of us, we can't even remember. And here's the thing. This is a massive, massive problem. We've spent the last 100 years engineering friction out of our lives. We have apps that deliver food to our door. We have cars that can drive themselves. We can work, shop, socialize, and entertain ourselves endlessly from our couch. Everything is optimized for ease and convenience. On paper, this sounds amazing, right? Life should be better than ever. But look around. Anxiety and depression rates are at all-time highs. More than ever, people feel lost, unmotivated, and purposeless. Despite having everything at our fingertips, we feel empty. Why? Because humans were not designed for a frictionless life. We were designed to struggle and then overcome, to push against resistance and feel the satisfaction of conquering it. Something happens in our brain when we complete a hard task. You get this feeling of completion, satisfaction, reward. And these feelings make you excited for the next day and the day after that. And it's a compounding effect. Think about your great-great-grandfather or grandmother again. At the end of each day, they could look at the wood pile they built, the field they plowed, the food they grew, and know with absolute certainty that they accomplished something real. They had tangible proof of their efforts. And even if everything else was falling apart in their lives, they could go to bed knowing they completed something that day and see that completion. What do most of us have at the end of the day? Maybe we sent some emails, maybe attended a few Zoom calls, scrolled on social media, but there's nothing tangible, nothing that says, I did that. And our brains are wired to need that feedback loop of effort and accomplishment. And without it, we start to feel useless. We start to doubt ourselves. We start craving external validation. We lose motivation because nothing feels meaningful anymore. Everything is just too easy. Let me tell you about when I realized the power of friction. So I grew up as an avid basketball player. Like many others, I dreamed of playing in the NBA one day. The one problem, I wasn't very good. I was slow. My lateral quickness was laughable. I probably had a vertical of about 12 and a half inches. Chances of me being good were pretty slim. But I didn't accept that. So I went to work. 5 a.m. workouts, 500 shots before school, 500 shots after school, mental strength exercises over and over again. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the work I put in didn't accomplish my goal, which was to make it to the NBA, unfortunately. However, it showed me that I felt the best after I just completed a really hard workout or had an honest reflection exercise. It showed me how proud I felt when I fought my brain telling me to go back to sleep and got up to go to the gym. It showed me the power of intentional daily friction. Even though my playing days ended, I have now so much belief that I can accomplish hard things because I've proven myself 5 a.m. alarm after 5 a.m. alarm that I can complete hard tasks. And I love that. And I've noticed that when I compare how I feel on days where I experience intentional friction versus days where I don't, it's like night and day. On the days without friction, I start to doubt myself. I question what I'm doing. Feel lost and unmotivated. Those days suck. And I'm sure you've had those days too. On days with friction, I feel focused, like I'm living a life with direction, and I'm proud of myself. Now, I'm not saying that you need to train at 5 a.m. every morning, and I'm not saying that I would like to live the life that our great-great-grandfathers and mothers did. But what I am saying is that we need to intentionally reintroduce friction into our daily lives. We need to do hard things on purpose and regularly. So how do we do this? How do we add intentional friction back into our lives? Here's what I've learned. 1, create non-negotiable physical challenges. First, you need to do something physically difficult every single day. Not optional, not when you feel like it, every day. This could be working out, but it needs to be something that actually pushes you. So go for a run when it's cold outside and you don't want to. Do a workout that makes you question if you can even finish it. Take a cold shower every morning. The specific activity really does not matter as long as it is hard and you don't want to do it, but you still do it anyways. Your brain needs that daily reminder that you can do difficult things, right? You need that daily reminder of being proud of yourself. So I've been taking cold showers every morning since my senior year of high school. And is it comfortable? No. Do I love getting blasted with freezing cold water in the morning? No. But that feeling of, I just did something hard that I didn't want to do, but I still did it. I love that feeling. It sets the tone for my entire day. And then I feel like I can handle anything that life throws at me that day because I've already proved to myself that I can push through hard things and persevere. But I want to emphasize, you need to choose a task that you genuinely do not want to do. 2, create something. Find a way to create something that you can see and think, I made this. This is huge. Maybe you start doing pottery. Shout out Gabe. Maybe you start writing a blog. Maybe you start painting. Maybe you cook a new meal you've never done before. The point is to have something that at the end of your effort, you can point to and say, I created that. When your brain consistently observes you creating, you will start to have more ideas, feel more confident in yourself, and you'll notice a shift from being a consumer to a creator. You have ownership. So I started creating content a few weeks ago, and when I finish a video or a blog, even if it's sloppy, I have this sense of accomplishment that I literally cannot get from anything else I do. It's real. It exists because I made it exist. I proved to myself that I can create. It's awesome. 3, eliminate convenience strategically. Identify areas where you can intentionally make things harder for yourself in a safe way. You want to take advantage of pushing yourself in environments that if you fail, nothing serious will happen, because that will prepare you to handle anything life does throw your way. One way I do this is I only take the stairs 2 at a time, and I always take the stairs unless I'm going above 5 floors. Every time I get to the top of the staircase and I'm slightly winded, I prove to myself that I can complete hard tasks, and that fuels me to go even farther. So I'm not saying eliminate all moderate conveniences. You can enjoy innovation, but when you intentionally choose the harder path sometimes, you're training yourself to be comfortable with discomfort. And that skill will help you get very far ahead. But once you've mastered these 3 steps, it is time to go one step farther. 4, set challenges that scare you. Finally, find new ways to push your baseline of comfort. Things that make you think, I don't know if I can actually do this. Maybe it's running a marathon. Maybe it's starting that business you've been thinking about for a while. Maybe it is going up to someone you find attractive and asking them out on a date. Maybe it's posting videos on a YouTube, even though it's embarrassing and weird. This is the hardest step though. Step 4 is really the hardest step, and it is key to not dive into this while you are still getting comfortable with this topic and still getting comfortable with the daily friction. But once you get to this step, you will feel like a steam engine that can't be stopped. And the goal with all of this is to put yourself in positions where failure is a real possibility, where you have to dig deep and push through doubt and discomfort, because that's where growth happens. That's where you prove to yourself that you're more capable than you think. Now, let me be clear about why this matters so much. When you consistently do hard things over and over again, something shifts in your brain. You start to raise what I call your baseline comfort. You become comfortable being uncomfortable. That skill of being comfortable in the uncomfortable separates you from so many others. I mean, think about it. What stops most people from pursuing their dreams? Fear, discomfort, the knowledge that it's going to be hard and chances are they might fail. But if you trained yourself to embrace that friction, embrace that doubt, if you've proven yourself daily that you can do difficult things, then suddenly these big, scary goals don't seem as impossible. You have evidence. You have a track record that you can point to, a track record that is your proof that you are capable, even when you doubt yourself. Plus, there's also just something really deeply satisfying about knowing you can handle hard things. It builds genuine confidence, and confidence only comes from hard, intentional work. Personally, I've seen in my life, my confidence grow over the years, and I really credit that to myself raising my baseline comfort. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start doing this, once you start adding intentional daily friction to your life, you'll notice a lot of the mental struggles, the anxiety, the questions, the doubt, they get easier. That feeling of purposeness, it goes away a little bit. Why? Because you're no longer drifting through an easy, dopamine-filled life. You're actively building something, and you're proving yourself that you're capable every single day. So here's what I want you to do. Take a second right now, and I want you to think about one way that you can add meaningful, intentional friction to your life. Just one thing. Maybe it's committing to that morning workout. Maybe it's walking to work instead of driving. Maybe it's choosing to cook dinner instead of ordering takeout. Whatever it is, pick something and commit to it. And then here's the key. Do it even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to, because that's the whole point. You're not doing this because it's fun or easy. You're doing this because it's hard and necessary. And do this for 30 days. Give yourself a month of intentional daily friction, and I promise you, you'll feel different. You'll feel more capable, more confident, more alive. The path to a meaningful, satisfying life runs directly through discomfort and friction. You need to do hard things. You need to struggle. You need to push yourself. You need to raise your baseline comfort. Not because you're being punished, but because that's what gives life meaning, growth, perseverance. So go do something difficult today. Go add some friction in your life. Your future self will thank you. That's all I have for today. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what intentional friction you're gonna add into your life. And if you're new here, subscribe or give this post a like. I love having conversations about ways that you can elevate your own life, and it's the type of content I post. But thank you for listening, and now go out there and do something hard. See you in the next one.